Today I'm going to be installing the U-Bolt Pro Wi-Fi Smart Deadbolt. Here's a look at everything that comes in the box. We've got some spare keys. We've got a door sensor that tells you when the door is opened and closed, and all the necessary hardware to install the door lock. We have 2.5-inch screws right here for the deadbolt strike plate that is included, but instead of the 2.5-inch screws, I will be using these 3-inch screws, which is a little more secure than the 2.5-inch screws. This smart lock does run off batteries, and the batteries are included, 4 AA's. Before attempting to install this door lock, make sure that the thickness of your door is between 1 3/8 and no greater than 1 3/4 of an inch. I need to remove this old deadbolt. If you're wondering if your holes are the right size, here's a picture from the install manual to go over. I'm going to install this bolt. Make sure that the up is saying up. Some doors you will need the extension. To extend this, just twist. Slide this in. I'm going to use the 1.5-inch Phillips screws to secure this bolt. I'm going to remove this old strike. As you can see here, these only had 2-inch screws in there, which isn't super secure. We're going to install this front piece now. Make sure that this wire goes under the bolt, and then this piece goes through this horizontal slit. Holding the back with my hand. Next we'll need this piece. You can see that it has a spot for this plug to go through and indicating up, so you can't install it the wrong way if you follow that instruction. We've got the 2 thicker bolts right here, not the screws. I'm going to hand thread these in. Got one holding, hand thread the next one in until that holds. Now I'm just going to tighten these bolts. This doesn't really look right, and my level confirms that this needs to come up a little bit. That looks much better. Now we've got our back piece. You can see it says this side against door. To install this, we need to slide this battery cover up. We are in the unlocked position. This has not been engaged at all. This has to stay retracted throughout this entire process. And we are going to connect our connector right here at the plug and slide our tailpiece right into here. Making sure to keep the cord on towards the bottom, line up that tailpiece. It should fit around that locking frame. Now use the 2 black screws, the very small ones, to secure this back part of the lock. You can see here I've got this metal bar back here, and it's preventing me from being able to put this deadbolt latch in all the way. I'm going to remove that with my Dremel multi-tool. I'm going to just put 1 screw in to make sure that the deadbolt lines up with this, and I'll adjust it if it doesn't. It's hitting on the bottom. This is why I like to do the deadbolt latch after this is installed, so you can test it. So I need to lower this a little bit. All right, it goes in. There's no rubbing. It's nice and smooth. So now I can put on the outer strike with the 3-inch screws. All right, after a little bit of adjusting, I got the deadbolt to go all the way in very smoothly. It has to go in smooth, or these electronic locks will struggle locking. The deadbolt in the locked position, I'm going to install these batteries. Then I'm going to slide the battery cover until it locks in place. Next, you need to scan the app with your phone in the installation manual and download that app. I'm not gonna waste your time on showing you how to download an app and set it up. Also, you don't wanna be outside before you set up this app. This deadbolt does automatically lock, and I've seen some reviewers get locked outside because of this. I'm now going through the setup process, and I can tell you right off the bat, I've gotta make an account to use this lock. I do not like that. I don't think that's cool. I think it's a waste of time. There should be another way around this, but there's not that I know of. I'm gonna go ahead and create an account, I guess. Adding a code is very straightforward. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna add 1234 and then hit add code. We can see the door in the locked position, so to unlock it, we're gonna add our code and test this out. Pretty simple. Next, I'm gonna add a fingerprint, hit the start adding fingerprint, and you have to do this pretty quick. You wanna make sure that everything is nice and dry, that your hands are not dirty. And it's gonna take you through a couple of angles. Now I'm gonna test out the fingerprint and make sure that it worked. And it unlocked with ease. I didn't even have to tap the button. Now, whether or not this will work on a rainy day when this is all wet or not, I'm not sure. That's why it's always good to memorize the passcode. This also has a hidden key feature. To unlock that, lift up and pull out, and you can lock and unlock with your backup key. This also comes with a door sensor that should be mounted as close to the edge of the door frame as possible. I am not going to install this door sensor. If you wanted to install the door frame, you would peel this back and you want to put it right under the deadbolt on the door frame. I honestly just do not like how they look. Piece would come out and then you would drill a screw right through there. If you wanted to reset everything back to factory default, you would stick this pin inside this little hole right there. Now that my smart lock is set up, I'm gonna get rid of this ugly bottom handle, and I really don't need a bottom lock on this anyway. I wanna get away from keys altogether. I bought this to go along with the smart lock, and hopefully it should just be 4 screws that have to be undone and reinstalled to install this. I'm going to use the exterior as a push, so I will install this screw into the push hole so I can push the handle to open the door. This is the anterior handle. I want to pull this to engage the latch, so I'm going to install this set screw into the pull hole. Next, I'm just going to use this 2-inch shaft and line my holes up. And this can also be mounted either vertically or horizontally, which is pretty cool. Line the screws up. Now if we want to open the door, we pull, and if we're coming in from the outside, we push to engage the latch. Now we can insert these rubber inserts that cover up the screw holes. This concludes the setup of the Ultralock Smart Deadbolt and the Ultralock handle. Thank you for watching.